It's MJ here with Fight Life Media. Welcome to another edition of 5 and 5 Sin City Picks. It's the pick show where we give you 5 picks in 5 minutes. Today we're covering the UFC on FX3. All right, UFC on FX3 coming up Friday, June 8th on FX. Got the prelims on Fuel. Make sure and check them out. The fight started about 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Eastern. First fight of the night, we've got Josh, the Dentist Neer versus Mike Pyle. Man, this is going to be a great matchup. It's a good thing it's on the main card. Josh Neer, man, this guy's a veteran. He's 33-10. He's got 29 finishes, so he's got a really well-rounded game between power in his hands and a really good ground game. He's got a 6-fight win streak coming into this fight, and all 6 of those fights, he's finished. It's a big deal. He's got a lot on the line with this one. Could potentially put him back up at the top of the heap. Mike Pyle coming in at 22-8, 19 finishes. You know, Mike Pyle probably a really underestimated guy both on the ground and on his feet. You know, my gut tells me that Josh Neer is going to pull this one out. I think that, you know, his ground game is just a little bit better than Mike Pyle, so I'm going to make my pick for Josh Neer. Next fight of the night, we've got Derrick Silva versus Charlie Brennaman. Derrick Silva coming out of Team Nogueira, really aggressive guy. He's 13-2. He's got 10 finishes. He's got a great ground game. He's got knockout power. Biggest difference with him is that, you know, is going to be that aggression factor. In his last fight, if you saw it, he got really aggressive, some illegal strikes to the back of the head, and so he lost that one by disqualification. But I'm expecting him to come out to finish this kid. Charlie Brennaman, really good wrestler. He's really, pretty solid that way. He's 15-3. He's got about a 50-50, history as far as decisions versus stoppages. So, a lot of his fights go the distance, really with that, a good wrestling top game. He does have that suspect chin, though. He's coming off of, he's got a KO loss to Anthony Johnson, also to Johnny Henderson. I think the biggest difference with this one is that Derrick Silva is just a little bit more well-rounded and well-schooled, than Charlie Brennaman. And I think he's going to come in and he's going to knock him out. So I got to give the nod to Derrick Silva. Next fight of the night, this is the co-main event of the night. Eddie Weinland versus Scott Jorgensen. Eddie Weinland coming in at 18-8. He's got 14 finishes, 9 of which were knockouts. He is coming off of back-to-back losses, though, to Joseph Benavidez and to Uriah Faber. It's going to be an interesting matchup, though. Scott Jorgensen coming in at 13-5. Scott Jorgensen, he's really a decision-heavy kind of grinder. I mean, his wrestling is going to be the key here. And Scott's only been finished once, and that was very early in his career. He does have a loss to Renan Pagado in his last fight. So I'm looking for him to rebound, big in this one. I think Scott Jorgensen is going to take Eddie Weinland down. He's going to avoid any of Eddie's, hands and/or ground game, and he's going to probably grind this one out for a decision. So I got to go with Scott Jorgensen on this one. Main event of the night, man, I'm really looking forward to this fight. You got Ian McCall, Uncle Creepy, versus Demetrious Johnson. The first fight of theirs, ended in a draw. I saw it completely different. I thought that Ian McCall, for coming out in his UFC debut, really stepping up in his level of competition. He looked awesome, and I totally, scored the fight for Ian McCall. For those of you that don't know, Ian McCall is 11-2. He's got 4 knockouts, 4 decisions, and 3 submission wins. His biggest, wow factor for me is that he's really composed, and he comes in, and he's just got that winning attitude, and I definitely think he's got the edge in striking. Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson, he's 14-2. He's got 3 knockouts, 6 submissions, and 5 decision wins. The difference here with Demetrious, though, that he has really faced a much higher level of competition. Both of these guys did lose decisions to Dominic Cruz earlier in their careers, and not so much earlier with Demetrious, but earlier in Ian McCall's career, he lost a decision to Dominic Cruz. But knowing that they can go to both of them have gone to the distance with the current champ, says a lot. Demetrious is a favorite on this one. But I just don't see this going his way. I think Ian McCall is going to come out even more aggressively. He's going to have that same composure, and I think he's going to take it to him. And I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out and knocks out Demetrious Johnson. As always, for additional coverage and exclusive content, make sure and check us out at fightlifemedia.com, where we're covering MMA from the ground up.